Howdy, y'all. Well, we're ready to put this compressor back together. All right, so what we determined was the retainer clip evidently just broke apart, and that's where the pieces of metal that I was seeing, and then the scarring of the piston. It scarred the cylinder wall a little bit. Not too bad. And what I've determined is that, you know, this is the piston, and then you have the seal that goes up here on top. And this is what does all the pumping, that little cup right there. And it is above the scars in the cylinder. So I think we're okay. We got everything cleaned up inside the cylinder. We got all this smoothed up on this OD surface. Now the O-ring groove was kind of messed up, so luckily I'm a machinist and I know what to do. So I took it to work and I recut that snap ring groove. So retainer clip, whatever y'all want to call it. Got all that taken care of, so I think we're going to be able to salvage this thing. Like I said, we can still get, if we needed to, if it doesn't work, we can still go get a piston, a complete piston, everything on it, all the, you know, all the seals, everything's already on it, and a complete new casing for a quarter of the price of the whole unit. Oh, a lot better than having to go buy a whole new compressor, even though I'd like to have a bigger one. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to try to assemble this thing now. So I got most of everything cleaned up. I still got a couple things to do. I've already taken the rod off the crank, cleaned the needle bearings up really good, and I'll show some pictures of those. Re-greased them, got all that ready to go. I want to go ahead and put all this together, and then we'll start putting some of this together. I'm not going to bore y'all with all of it, but because it might take me a little while, especially since I had to get this thing out of here, dealing with these wires and stuff. So one of the things to let you know when you're taking this thing apart is make sure that the rod is all the way down so that you can get the casing off, on and off of it. So let me do that some more, and I'll get back with y'all on all that. Okay, we have determined the kit that I bought does not fit this compressor. First two O-rings I needed is not in there. The piston seal is the wrong one. That's this piece here. I wanted to replace it. I've got one that came with the, so we at least have that already. But I was talking to some people online, about this seal not being there, and they said they quit using that a couple years ago. Well, it doesn't make sense to me, but it does in a point of cost effectiveness. One less seal is, a couple pennies every part, every unit. Uh, so I was going to put the two that came with it. One of them's made out of phenolic, and one of them's out of maybe a nylon. I'm not sure. It's pretty hard. It's a little harder than nylon, so it may be a UHM something other, or who knows what it is. But anyway, I went to install them on there, and they don't fit. They're 8mm wide, and my grooves are 6mm wides. So I contacted the other guy that I got the grease from, because he sells parts too. But these parts I bought straight from GX. I contacted him and asked him about what size he sells, because on his website it just says the seals, and that's it. They're ain't much. They're only $8.50. But he says that he sends both of them. He sends 6 and 8mm, and he sends both of the deals, like this one and the other one that I got in the kit. Oh, okay. Well, I don't understand that. It's a business point. It's like, why wouldn't you put it separate on the website? You could charge them $8.50 for either set and double your money. You're just kind of like throwing away 2 of them. Except for when you're a person like me that takes a 8mm wide rings and turns them into 6mm. We make backup rings. I don't know if some of y'all know what backup rings are, but backup rings are they're usually made out of PEEK, and they're split, and you put them on, and then you put your O-rings on, and it helps with sealing. And we make custom made ones, because you can buy them, like McMaster, you can buy them, but they make a lot of custom ones. And one of the things I found was, I take an aluminum block and I mill me the diameters in it for it to drop into, and then I use it's not exactly like this one, but it's real close, and use a little it's a 7/1000 wide saw, kind of like a flush cut saw, and I cut the angle on it to split it in half. So I just dropped these in there and used that saw to saw it off to 6mm, because that's how deep my grooves are, 6mm. And then I took it on a piece of sandpaper until I got it flush. So this is where we are. We're going to put a little bit of grease in this groove. Just a little. See, that's how you make an 8mm sleeve fit in a 6mm groove. I do have some coming, but we'll use these for now. All right. I'm gonna get the new one on here and get it formed, because we got to put it on there. Let's see here. We got to put it on there, bolt it down with the cap, and then roll it on the table like this, forming that cup. So I'm not going to bore you with all that. So, all right, we put the new O-ring that's underneath here, and here's the new seal. See, it's flat, so now we're going to take and roll it on the table and form it. We'll be right back. Okay, so let's take and put the cylinder back on the motor housing. They say put it down the far bottom and you got to go up inside of here. There's just a small opening for it to reach into. There is some locating pins to make sure everything's lined up. Always laying something down where I don't remember where I put it. I'm so unorganized. Oh, let me find it. All right, right where I left it on the floor. We've already got them all in. We're just going to tighten them up now. Telling you this, it doesn't want me to put it back together. I putting these screws in, I lost one of the lock washers. Don't know where it went. The 4 that bolts to the main housing down here have lock washers, but these 2 top ones up here don't. That's the way it came. So man, I'm not even going to be able to put it all together tonight because I got to order more earrings. I'm going to try to go as far as I can so I'll know what O-rings, if there's any other ones I got to order, and order them all at the same time. Alright, that's together. So now we can actually drop this piston in. What we're going to do, now he says to fill this groove completely up, and I'm not going to do that. That's too much. I think the heat from it is going to let it slide down in between it. This out of here so we can squirt some grease in here. There we go. We're going to put some on all the seals. Oh, by the way, yeah, see I got it all bent up there now. I mean, when I took it apart, it didn't have any grease in that groove, so now it's got some. All right, where are we at? The high pressure rod goes toward the front. This seal is going to be really tight. I'm going to have to really push it in there. I may even have to, don't know what I'm going to have to do yet, so I'll be back when I get it in. All right, we got her in there. We had to give it a little friendly persuasion with a little plastic. Once it popped in, boom, it went right in. So we're good and tight there now. Wrist pin. We need to they know Mama's supposed to be on the way home. So every noise they hear, they think it's Mama coming home. I should have put it on the stick first so I can hold it better. Hey, I'm new at this, okay? I'll make sure I get some all over it. And then we're going to add some more to it. I might be a little low. I might figure out what to do. Okay, so we got it back together finally. I had to take and tap it this way a little bit, that way a little bit. I kept going too far, back and forth, and finally I got it right and got that wrist pin in there. Then I put the snap ring in it. This is as far as I'm going to go right now. I'm going to get some O-rings. I need an O-ring for down here before I can put this block on, and I have to have this block on before I can stick this back in here, because just the way it has to be. So I'll get some O-rings ordered and come back. I will probably go ahead and install this and have this back up in here, because it's a pain in the butt with all these wires, and there's a bunch of standoffs and all kinds of stuff tinkering with. We'll work on that. So that's where we're going to cut this video right here. So just a frustrating project right now. Our 2 inch 1/8 inch 2/8 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 inch 2/ not really a project, is maintenance, repair work. But hopefully, if I get it running, it's save me some money. So otherwise, I can't shoot my air guns. That's the only thing bad about PCPs. You know, you need air, and I ain't going to pay somebody to fill my tanks. So, all right, we'll call it this one the end on this section of it. Thanks for watching.